Hi guys, Mrs. Parker here. Today we are going to talk about ways to help you get over the break when you are doing clarinet. So, we recently started on our scales, and as you see here, I have got our clarinet C scale. The break basically is when you have been doing your notes and going, and when you hit the break, it goes from a note that doesn't have very many fingers down to a note that has basically everything down. And in particular on clarinet, it is when we go from a lower register to a much higher one. So that break occurs from A, which basically has one pointer finger down, to B, which has every finger down plus two pinkies. So today I'm going to show you how I figured out to get over the break and how I practice that. So one thing you want to do is make sure you can actually play the note that is over the break, which would be a B to start with. So I'm going to put my reed on here and show you how I did it. First thing I would suggest, practice in front of a mirror. The way I was able to make this work for me is I would look in the mirror when I was trying to do the low version of a B, and I could see if my fingers weren't all the way covering a hole. So right here I've tried to position the computer so that you can see my fingers. A B's fingering is all three of your main fingers down here in the right and left hand, plus your pinky on the center inside key here. So if I turn that, you can see there's three keys. I'm doing the one closest to the middle, and then I am also doing the one closest to the middle over here. So with my pinkies down, what I'm going to do is try the low version. So for the low version, you can see my thumb is just covering this back circle key. And I'm going to make sure I can play the low note. So let's see. So as you can see, I can play the low note. Let's say you put all these fingers down and you went to play. And I'm going to move one of my fingers. Let's say my ring finger down here a little bit. And you're going to notice the note won't come out because I'm not covering this hole all the way. If you get a sound like that, or it does not sound low, like that one does, that means that one of your fingers is not completely covering a hole, which is where your mirror comes into play. You want to check the fingers in the front and make sure they are completely covering those holes and there is suction there. If there's not and there's air escaping, you obviously won't get the sound out. From experience, usually the fingers that are not covering are usually one of your ring fingers, or your back thumb a lot of the time. So check those fingers. I wouldn't even take my clarinet out. If I notice that something doesn't sound right, I start moving around fingers while the clarinet's in my mouth. So I'm going to do it again. Pinkies down. As you can see, by wiggling around that ring finger, I made it come back. So let's say you've gone through, you're standing in front of the mirror, you have successfully gotten that low note out at least 5 times in a row, no problem. Then you are ready to go ahead and try over the break. So going over the break means you do the exact same fingering, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, pinky on the inside, pinky on the inside. On the back, all you do is still covering the circle key right here in the back. You're going to hit your back register key. So this right here is what's going to make you go up the octave. So what you're going to do is, keeping your thumb on that back circle key, also press that down and you'll see it will lift. So I'm now going to try the low version and then slip my thumb up so it'll go high. So here's the low one. I'll try and do it so you can see my thumb. As long as you can get the low note out, that high note should pop right out as well. So I'm going to do it one more time. If you want to look, you can. Okay, so that's how we're going to get the B over the break. And in my experience, B is probably the hardest one to get over the break, especially once you keep going above the break, it gets easier and easier. So that was your B. When you're ready to move on and do that top C, it's really simple. So there's that B again. To make that a C, all you do is lift your pinky on this hand, in the top hand, and that is a C. So I'll let you hear the difference. And that's it. So if you can get the B, you can get the C. My number one tip is to make sure you can get the low note first, which only has the thumb here, but then the normal fingering here. And then when you're successful getting the low note, just slip your thumb up and see if you can go over the break. Good luck, you guys. Take your time. Be patient. You're going to do great. Bye.